Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're joined now by Jennifer J. Burrows, and she is the leader of a movement called Daughters Arise, and they have a women's conference that is coming up. So first of all, welcome. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today.
Good morning, and good morning, Barbados. Thank you so much for having me here today. I appreciate it.
So tell me first about Daughters Arise, this movement. What is it?
Yeah, so Daughters Arise is a movement that was birthed on my university's campus at the University of Oklahoma in the U.S. And it was birthed out of God's desire for his daughters to understand their identity in Him, right? For too long, many women have been oppressed, and we have been subject to limitations, both external and societal, but also the ones that we have imposed on ourselves. And so that was birthed out of His yearn for us to walk boldly in our identity as His daughters, but also to arise and shine, arise and push beyond the limitations, arise and push beyond the circumstances, and really fulfill the purposes that He has placed on each one of our lives.
Beyond that, what does it mean to you on a personal level as the person leading the movement?
To me, it's a deep burden, because I would have lost my earthly father at the age of 9. And so God has taken me on a journey of understanding who He is as my father. I've seen Him be my provider. I've seen Him be my protector. I've seen Him be my defender. I have seen Him affirm me as a father. And so when I know that there's so many women who don't have their father present in their lives, or maybe didn't have a good father, or maybe you have a good father but you have no idea of God as Father, my heart breaks for that, and so it is one that is very personal to me. When I was younger, I suffered with lots of self-esteem, lots of self-doubt, and so many of the gifts that God had placed on the inside of me were not awakened, and they were lying dormant. And so it has been a process of God awakening all of those things in me, and has now positioned me to also help other women to do that as well.
And that's what this conference now is all about.
Yes.
About you sharing what you've gained, whether it's through your communication with God or your thoughts, or how you've come to be the woman who you are. So talk to us about the other ladies who are going to be a part of the presentation.
Yes, please. So we have a phenomenal lineup of powerful women in the Barbados Society. We have Minister Andrea Harris of Women of Excellence and Empowerment Ministries. We have Mrs. Shaniqua Ford of Unearthing Her Ministries. We have Miss Shannon Fraser of Women on a Mission. And we have Mrs. Margaret Grant, who's an author and a guidance counselor of the St. Michael's School. And all of these women have been tasked with sharing about biblical women and how we can look at them and see the implications on the modern day woman. They're going to be sharing strategies to actually equip women, because one of the things that this conference will do is that it will seek to transform women. It's not merely one to inspire and to motivate, but to transform women by the renewing of our minds. So all of these women are going to be coming together to do that and give us practical strategies on how to navigate life's opportunities and challenges. Yes.
Okay, so when does it come off? How can we be a part of it?
Yes, so the conference is going to be on Saturday, July 15th. So this upcoming Saturday at Sky Mall. It's going to be held in their seminar room, and it's going to be from 9:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. So it's a full day. The event is free, so no woman has to worry about the cost of being there. All we need for you is to come and show up as you are, right? And there's also going to be lunch involved, so you don't have to worry about stressing over food on that day. And honestly, just share the word. Share the word with as many women as you know. Unfortunately, we have seen an alarming rise in the amount of people taking their lives. And this really shows that there are people in society who are hopeless, who have just come to an end of themselves, and they're looking to this medium as a way of escape. And so we want you to come out. If you're feeling broken, if you're feeling hopeless, if you are feeling alone, if you're feeling like you can't overcome this blockage and this battle, come out and receive from other women. Come out and be a part of this divine sisterhood as we arise together.
I really want to credit you for this, because and this is something that has come to me in recent times, and I believe that how we treat people kind of goes in circles, as well. But for a long time, even just now, we were talking about men not necessarily taking care of themselves. And usually we see, as the experts say, a lot of men who successfully commit suicide. But the figures show us that women make more attempts at taking their lives. And here in Barbados recently, we've been seeing just an overwhelming rate in the last couple months of people who are seemingly taking their lives, and particularly in their young women. Lost my pen. And that is, for me, that is something that sticks with me. So to have conferences like this, where you encourage women to come out, fellowship, learn about themselves, learn about other women, I think is important, because sometimes we feel like we're going through things and we're the only people in the world going through these things. So it's really great to be able to see and share with people who have gone through or are feeling the effects of whatever we're going through as well. And I'm happy that you're sharing about women of the Bible. Who's your favorite woman from the Bible, if you can pinpoint one woman?
My favorite, I would say, I have many, but I will go with Mary, the mother of Jesus. And the reason is that she was tasked with something very heavy. We usually glorify, oh, mother of Jesus gave birth, but she went through a lot, She had to go through some form of rejection from society because she was not yet married. But she was ultimately tasked with shifting the trajectory of an entire nation, but the entire world. We are in the year 2023 because Mary said yes to God, right? She said yes to Jesus. And so she is one of my favorite women in the way she just surrendered to the call of God upon her life and said, let your will be done. And I have had the process of going through that and saying, God, I may not understand everything you're calling me to do, but I accept the call, and I trust that you will grace me and you will equip me for this call that you have. Yes.
Oh, very wonderful. My favorite story, or the woman who certainly had the most impactful story for me from the Bible, was Ruth.
Wow.
And of course, her story is one of loyalty and love and faith, and it has so much dimension and stories that we can honestly draw from. And I think sometimes we don't have that. I'm reminded of I went to a funeral recently of a friend who had lost her husband, unfortunately, and the priest who was talking, he said something that has stuck with me since then. He said, a lot of us from a certain generation have music and what happened at schools before to draw from, because everybody stood up and nobody was looking at the hymn sheet. And we have to remember that we really have to go back to a place sometimes of faith. So when people are feeling hopeless and they feel like, life is too hard to navigate, that even if they don't physically have what they feel like is a support structure with them, that they can go to a place within themselves and go to the Creator to be able to draw on that. And I would imagine that's where you're going with this conference. I'm happy to hear that it is free of cost. And you're going to be taking care of the people who will be there. Is there a specific target demographic? And let's talk times again, and whether the people who are coming need to be there for the full time, or some logistics in that manner.
Yes, please. So the conference is open to all women. I think maybe secondary school age and up, but if you have young daughters, bring them, because I think it's very important for them to see older women just worshiping God and receiving the things of God as well.
Okay, so you can bring your children.
Yes,
okay.
You can. Yes, you can. And so it's going to be, again, from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., 9:30 a.m., my apologies, until 5 p.m. And it would be great to have you for the entire duration, just because of the different things that we're going to be doing throughout the day. You're going to be receiving from speakers. You're going to have times of fun and fellowship and sisterhood and community. And so it would be lovely to have you there for the entire duration. But if you can, and you can only come for maybe the morning session or the evening session, then go ahead and do that.
And I know you can reach out. You have a telephone number and an email address for people who need more answers,
Yes.
or who have questions.
Yes, please. And so you can reach me at either 846-4819 or at daughtersariseglobal@gmail.com.
Your overall theme is Woman Arise. Yes. So I wish you the very best on your journey with Daughters Arise.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that you're not only keeping it to yourself. There are too many of us out here who, as you mentioned, are keeping our talents and not sharing them.
Yes.
So, it's happy that you absolutely are sharing. Wonderful meeting you. And I wish you the very best. Again, it's coming up this Saturday, July 15th. 9:30 to 5 o'clock at the Sky Mall Seminar Room. Guest speakers Shannon Fraser, Margaret Grant, Shanika Ford, Minister Andrea Harris, and Jennifer Burrows. The event is free. They're going to make sure that you get a little lunch. So come on out and be a part of it. Come on out and be empowered, be inspired, and all that wonderful stuff. Last words from you.
Come on out. And I just want to say to every woman in Barbados, but also to every man as well, God is not finished with you. God is not done with you. If you're feeling hopeless, just remember that there's hope in Jesus Christ. And for those women, come on out to the event. We want to see you, we want to fellowship with you, and we want to arise and shine together.
All right, so my crew in the back says, since you said men, can men come as well?
It's a women's event, but if the men would like to support us in any way, you are more than welcome to do so, because we're still accepting support at this time and still accepting sponsorship at this time. So if you would like to partner with us in that way, you are more than welcome.
Do you have to register, or can you just show up on the morning?
You can show up on the morning, but at this point, I would love for people to go ahead and reach out and indicate that they are coming, so that I just keep the numbers in check. Yeah.
Absolutely, and so you can plan for those numbers. So make sure you come on out and be a part of that. Maybe you need a little inspiration. Maybe there are some young girls in your life who need a little inspiration. Here's a good place to start. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming in and sharing with us this morning. Truly inspirational.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. This is a blessing. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I want you to think today about the woman who most inspires you, or which story of women from the Bible that truly, blessed your heart, or, give you most happiness.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.